Hello gamers, it's me, Ill, back with another Blade & Soul Neo Classic video for the 5 people that still watch Blade & Soul content. Recently, China has added Whirlwind Valley to their 6v6 lineup, replacing Beluga Lagoon, which I didn't do a video on, and I don't really enjoy Beluga that much. So, you know, maybe I'll look through my old footage and upload something, but who knows. As I've quit Neo for about a month now, while looking through all these people's profiles, I am severely undergeared now. Most people have about 100 to 150 AP over me, so 6v6 isn't really a great time for me right now, but I did manage to do pretty decently this game. And considering 6v6 games take about 10 to 15 minutes, we've got some time to talk. But of course, if you just want to watch the gameplay, feel free to just mute the video. I won't be offended, but I also won't know anyway. I am British, so I do apologise in advance. If this is your first time watching me, maybe you came from Canon's video. My name is Matt. I've played Blade & Soul for about 7 years now. Within that time, I've racked up about 16,000 hours or something stupid like that. Where retail Blade & Soul is completely dead in terms of PvP, I've made my own private server. I still run it to this day, and it is the only place that you get PvP other than Neo on China. And with that all out the way, let's get into a few of the things that I want to talk about concerning Neo. The first would have to be, and I know it's on a lot of people's minds, we've not heard anything about a global release for about 6 months now. If you check the Blade & Soul YouTube channel, the first mention of Neo Classic was 8 months ago, and the last mention of Neo Classic was 6 months ago. Ironically, it was also a video about PvP Arena, which I might talk about later because we've also got a bit of silence on Arena as well. But again, that's for later. If you check the official Blade & Soul Discord, which is what's basically your best way of finding out any information that you need about Neo, you don't find anything actually, so what I've just said is a complete lie. As a matter of fact, about 90% of the Neo news that comes around in the official Discord is from unofficial sources, such as myself or other players that are playing from non-Chinese regions, and we're just sort of communicating the info back to the community. That being said, there was a message from Bear, the senior producer for the Blade & Soul IP, concerning Neo release dates, and if I can find it, I'll put it here. But you might be wondering, if you've not heard any news about BnS Neo, why are you mentioning Bear saying something about it? And the reason is, this message got deleted about 2 or 3 days after it was posted. Admittedly, it wasn't posted in the BnS News channel or any announcement channels. It was merely a message in the Neo chat, which, if you join the official Discord and look at that channel, it is completely deranged now, because people are understandably angry about having to wait 6 months to not even hear anything about Neo. You can even try this yourself. If you join the official Discord and join the Neo chat, ask them when the release date will be, and 100% the response you'll get will be tomorrow. This has been a running joke for 6 months. I'm starting to hate it myself. Now, if we go and dissect these 3 messages from Bear, the first one is that the only update I have is that there are internal discussions happening, currently deciding the global launch date. My apologies. This message was posted 2 months ago. So, that's one lengthy discussion. But all in all, there's not much to dissect here. On to the next message. This one has Bear replying to someone saying, "How time you gonna make adversity for Neo?" I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't speak English as their first language, but from what I can understand, I think he's talking about how are you going to advertise Neo. To which Bear responds with, "NCA has a full plan ready to go, but our plan is solely based on the global launch date we are given. So once we get that date, we will adapt our entire plan to match the decided date." Now, it sounds to me like NC has everything ready to go in terms of advertising, but for whatever reason, they can't tell us anything because it's so dependent on a global launch date. This could actually just be corporate backwash though. What I mean by that is that they're just basically giving us a message to sate the anger of the people waiting for information. They're saying something so that we don't continually get more and more frustrated, maybe stick around in the Discord for a little bit longer. But the reality is this message, again, doesn't really tell us anything. In simple terms, it's basically like, yeah, bro, we've got it all sorted out. We just, we can't tell you until we get a date. But don't worry, we've got everything sorted out. It's fine. Don't worry. And for our third and final message, Bear responds to a message saying, in its current state, if it ships to West, it's dead on arrival. This is a sentiment that I've shared on Cannon's video, and I still do very much agree with. The monetization plans for China, and the way that some of the grinds, some skills, some of all these kinds of things, they do not align with what the West is interested in. The level of pay to win on China is absolutely abhorrent. This would not fly on West. They're just lucky that the Chinese audience is okay with this kind of thing. But to actually get into Bear's response, he says, for additional insights, NCA and the other global partners are aware of the current status of CNPVP/other systems, and strongly do not want these systems they currently have. This has caused developers to need to have a CM build and a global build. The original design was to always have one global build. This, of course, causes a lot more work for the development team, but is essential for the success of the global project. These tasks have been underway for a significant amount of time, and currently the focus is developing the launch plan. I don't have insights yet on the launch plan as it's currently in discussion, but the preparation work on our side is ready once that date is shared. Now, this does actually give us some insight. We can tell that we won't be getting the Chinese systems, and they're looking to change the way PvP works for the global release. This is, again, really good news, and I do need to supplement this by saying I completely understand development taking a long time. That's not where my issue lies. This development can take over a year. I would be fine with it. And I think a lot of other people in the community share my sentiment in believing that the biggest problem here is the fact that we don't hear anything. We don't hear a single thing through official sources. Everything we get is from players playing Neo on China. Nothing to look forward to. You could completely forget that Neo exists at this point. But again, the reason for not sharing more information has come down to not having a launch date again. And this is my own theory, but I've begun to think that maybe the reason that we don't hear anything, because it is eerie how little that we've heard about Neo, is that potentially Tencent has a exclusivity deal with China, and we're not allowed to, get any promotional material on Neo until their exclusivity deal is up. Maybe that's a whole year, maybe it's less. So some kind of like NDA where they're not allowed to disclose much about Neo until China's had their fun, I suppose you could say. Now, why would they do this? And the answer to that is I have no clue. I'm not paid enough or at all to be able to think logically about why this would happen. I just play BnS Neo. I don't do their business administration and all that kind of garbage, whatever. I just play the game, But the kicker here is all 3 of these messages got deleted 2 to 3 days later by Ronan, who is the community manager for NCSoft. And from what I understand, I'm not completely sure of this, he manages Lineage 2, BnS Neo, and Aeon. So he's stretched thin here. But anyway, he gives this as his reason. He says, "Hi all, this was me that deleted it, haha. Sometimes I too need to keep my eye on Bear. Some of the information included in Bear's post was forward-looking and still under discussion internally. In order to avoid future confusion and spreading of unconfirmed information, we ask that you refrain from reposting this message." And I've just realised I am doing exactly that. So, to be clear, don't believe everything that you've seen in this video. As Ronan says, not confirmed, etc. They don't want to be spreading unconfirmed information. The issue with that is that we have no other information to go off, which is why this gets spread. It's the only thing we have to go off. I don't know the necessary processes in a big company like this, but keeping a community of people waiting, well, entire regions of people waiting for just 6 months now. Even on a stretch, you could say 8 months if you want to go from the first announcement, is absolutely absurd. So, if we're not supposed to believe unconfirmed information, give us some information. Do something, man. Like, I'm not sure what to suggest. It's just... This is me ranting now. I need to shut up. This is actually the only thing that we've heard from NCSoft these last 6 months, and as I've said, this is unconfirmed information. Put into perspective how insane that is. It's been 6 months, and we've had 3 Discord messages about Neo. That's it. And even those got deleted. So, I can't tell you when there's going to be a global release date for Neo. I can't tell you if there's going to be a global release date for Neo. As a matter of fact, the web pages that held Neo information actually got taken down. But there's sort of 2 trains of thought here. Some people are saying that this was taken down because they're redesigning the website, they're moving it to somewhere else. And others are saying, yeah, it's cancelled, GG, and they just leave. I'm not gonna... I would rather subscribe to the first thought, thinking that they're just moving it around. It's all good. But that might be me on just some insane copium. So yeah, that's all we know for now. And I did want to mention something about Arena. Lots of people have been asking me about Arena, especially from Cannon's video, because I only showed 6v6 footage, and I'm only showing 6v6 footage now. Arena isn't out on Neo. It is locked to level 46. It was locked to level 45 on 36 patch, and as soon as level 45 patch came around, they then locked it to level 46, which is inaccessible. The Chinese community is livid, very angry about not having Arena. There's lots of forum posts, lots of death threats. They go hard on the forums. They go incredibly hard. Tencent hasn't said anything about Arena. They're leaving even the Chinese community in the dark. Anything that's said about Arena doesn't get answered. Nothing is being said, but they still provide the ranking leaderboards, which obviously no one's on, and the option to try and click to go into Arena. So it's not completely cancelled, they just haven't... I don't know, the mind boggles. I can't tell you how or why they do this, or why they leave people in the dark for so long, but NCSoft and now Tencent's problem just seems to be communication when it comes to Neo. And I will probably be leaving it at that. This is the first time that I've done a video where I sort of do a commentary over gameplay. I don't know if you guys would have liked it or not. Let me know in the comments, give me some feedback. I'm always looking for feedback. Just, you know, maybe hold off on the death threats and telling me to end my life, potentially. That's probably not the feedback I'm looking for. But feel free to drop any comments about any questions you have, anything that you'd like to see me make a video on. I'm trying not to edit these things too much because Blade & Soul has a very small community. The amount of production value that you'd get out of me spending weeks on something just doesn't sort of show any good results. But I'm always willing to make something if it helps people out. So yeah, like and subscribe, by the way. Bye.